Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander.
And welcome to another episode of our card spotlight series in which I highlight a card that I think should see more play in Commander. But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me. And today we're going to be talking about Smeagol Helpful Guide. For 1 colorless, 1 black and 1 green, it's a legendary creature, halfling horror 4/2 with, and whenever the ring tempts you, target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped under your control and the rest into the graveyard. So this is one of the more unique and interesting commanders that we've seen come out of the Lord of the Rings set, because again it asks you to build around 2 different things. You basically want to build around a slight aristocrats theme, and also you want to build heavily around tempting because it's going to allow you to ramp a lot. The stats on Smeagol are a little bit awkward because 2 toughness is so much worse than this being a 2/4, for example, meaning that it's so much easier to remove and doesn't really allow you to block or attack with it very profitably. But the trigger is incredibly powerful, so you want to load your deck full of the usual tempt cards. Basically, there is a lot of support for tempt in these colors, so you definitely want to be playing as much as you can. But outside of tempt, you want to have a typical aristocrats package, because that's going to guarantee you get a tempt at the end of every one of your turns as long as Smeagol is alive. The payoff for tempting is absolutely huge, but there is another angle to this card that maybe isn't immediately obvious. So the land that you're going to be ramping with is taken from your opponent's deck, but crucially, the other cards that are revealed before they reveal a land are put into the graveyard. That means that this also lends itself to a reanimation strategy where you take stuff from your opponent's graveyard. So that's an interesting angle to have, because I love those kind of strategies that are focused around taking resources from your opponents, because they allow the game to play out very differently every time. You can't control what's going to be in an opponent's deck or in an opponent's graveyard, so you're always going to have a different experience, and I think that really keeps the games fresh and allows you to enjoy decks for longer. There is a large subset of Commander players that don't really enjoy this kind of gameplay, however, which is a pity, but that does mean that this deck can be built in multiple different ways, and I really like having those choices. So a card that could work very well with this kind of gameplay is from the Catacombs, which is repeatable reanimation from any graveyard. We've talked about that card before on this channel. It's very solid. Incarnation Technique is always going to be good in a deck like this, because you are, of course, filling your opponent's graveyard. Victimize can be nice as well, because you're going to be sacrificing a creature in order to play it, which then means that it's going to trigger Smeagol at the end of your turn. There's just a lot of different angles that you could go for here. Something like Altar of Dementia would also be great, seeing as that's going to fill your opponent's graveyard whilst also triggering Smeagol. I think the possibilities are really quite endless, and this is a very cool build around Commander that I look forward to exploring. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think about this card? Please let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care. Woo!